If you're wondering how to design more simple and unique characters that attract a dedicated audience, then knowledge about fashion and culture is a great opportunity to communicate more with less detail in your character design. So the first step of my process is to establish the character's place in their world. Cult Classic is the main villain for an episode of the webcomic Mean Spirit, which takes place in a cartoon version of Toronto in the late 2010s. At the time I started designing her, she had a grand total of 1 line of dialogue. So she grew up in the early 2000s and listens to nu metal, classic movies, and shows like Freaks and Geeks, MTV Downtown, and Daria. Her personality would be the type of person who would cast a spell to make reality retro, whatever that is. That's what I wrote at the time, but looking back, I think the type of person who would be drawn to retro media would fit in with people their age and look up to people older than them. I learned that I should consider what was popular at the time and how they went with or against it to figure out how to make them stand out more. People were starting to criticize fast fashion for its low quality, bad working conditions, and negative impact on the environment. As a result, people started wearing more basics. I remember mom jeans and Champion being popular at this time. Having this in mind would have been helpful to figure out how to make her stand out more. When you pick multiple themes, it's less likely for people to choose the exact same themes as you. I associate her name with movies, so the first theme I picked was retro and film bro. What I had in mind was a blurry image of a film bro, so basically a pretentious nerd with a warm color palette. At first I focused too much on making her retro, so the silhouette was boring. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a boring looking character, but villains are obligated to slay. It was giving neutral face emoji, so I also decided to add Molgoth and Nu Metal Kid as themes. I was inspired by the bands Kitty and Evanescence. Looking back, Evanescence's music is cinematic, so it also fits the film bro theme too. And the next step is research. To get a better understanding of the decade Cult Classic is inspired by, I watched videos about fashion in the 2000s and the subcultures she's interested in. Musicians have a big impact on culture, especially in the 2000s, so I watched concert videos and documentaries of Evanescence and Kitty to look at the crowds to see what kind of people go to their shows and how people talk about them, what they're wearing, and what they act like. I made a mood board on Pinterest. Next, I only use photos with the sources credited or screenshots from videos so I can be sure that they are authentic. Sheep language. I feel like a square would be stuck in the past since I associate squares with rigidity. I also wanted her to contrast with the rest of the cast. I also added triangles because I wanted her to look edgy. Most design advice boils down to making some things similar to make it cohesive and keep things interesting by introducing contrast. So both her shirt and overalls have boxy silhouettes and similar textures but different colors. And I also put similar colors spread out and contrasting colors together. And same for shapes and textures. So when you look at it, your eye will be lit around the design instead of like stuck in one place.